Hi guys, I wore 2 fitness watches all day, every day, and all night to see which one I liked better. One was the Apple, this is the newest model of the Apple Watch, and this one is about a 1.5 years old Fitbit Charge 5. And the biggest thing is that I like wearing a watch. Even though we have phones that record everything, I like having a watch. So I'm going to give you the biggest differences on them. Should women be wearing them after 50? Is it necessary? Well, the big thing I'm going to say is yes, it's necessary because you need to track your steps. And putting your phone in your pocket is not going to track your steps accurately because you're going to lay your phone down during the day or forget it and not take it with you. So it's never going to give you a truly accurate step count where a fitness tracker will. Now there's all kinds of fitness trackers and they're all different prices and you can get rings and watches and things like that. But for the purpose of this, I like having a watch, and you can change the faces out, and Apple has a lot of different faces that you can put on it for whatever you need. So I just have kind of, I don't know if you can see this or not. Let's flip it around here so you can look at it. But I just want you to see, it goes off really quick. So I just want you to see what I've got on mine. It shows how often you stand, and it will ding a little bell to tell you to stand once an hour if you've been sitting for a long time, which is kind of nice. And then it tracks your exercise, and it has every kind of exercise. I mean, you can go snowboarding or kayaking or playing pickleball, besides walking, running, and all the swimming, all those things. You can swim with both these watches. So there's just all those things. Now, the other thing about the Apple Watch is that if you like to be all connected to your iPhone, an Apple Watch is not good if you have an Android, but if you like to be all connected to your iPhone and be able to take a call while you're exercising or send a text message, which honestly, unless I put my readers on, the screen is too small and it's just annoying to me. So the big thing also is that all the different apps that the phone has or the watch has, they take up battery time. And so I have disconnected all the little apps that use all the battery. I've disconnected it from my Apple Watch because honestly, I want it to count my steps, tell me how far I've gone, maybe where I've gone, and I want it to record my workout, and I want it to track my sleep. And those are the things that I want it to do. Now, like I said, you can do a lot more with it. But I'm not a real techie person. I mean, I'm good for as far as that goes, but I'm not like totally connected to my phone and watch all the time. So I find it completely annoying when my watch would ring and somebody's calling me, or I get text messages on it. I don't want to respond on my watch. It's challenging to hear. You can put like a podcast on or Spotify, something like that, but it's on your wrist. It's actually easier to hear it on your phone. I don't know. It's like too much, right? So now what I did love about it is that I feel like it recorded accurate workouts, which I felt like the mileage between the two was pretty similar, but I always felt like the Apple Watch had a better tracking system on it, if that makes sense. Now, as far as the sleep goes, I will say that I think comparing the two on the sleep, that was really important to me because I'd been having a lot of problems sleeping, and I wanted to know like what my REM sleep was and my deep sleep and how much I was getting of it. Well, between the Apple Watch and the Fitbit, it was very, very different. So I kind of feel, and I don't know if I feel this way because the Apple Watch is like 3 times more expensive than the Fitbit, but I think for accuracy that the Apple Watch was probably more accurate than the Fitbit. Another thing I did not like about the Apple Watch is like at night, you can turn the Fitbit to a sleep mode. So when you raise your arm up in the night, the screen doesn't come on. Well, the Apple Watch, you can do that a bit, like if you're turning over, it won't come on. But if you're fidgeting around or you get up to use the bathroom or whatever, the screen comes on. So it's challenging if you have a partner that you sleep with. That watch will come on and it's bright and it can wake your partner up. So I didn't really like that about it. And you can't turn the screen off to make it so it won't do that. So that was another thing. Now, like I said, the Apple Watch was like $400 and the Fitbit was like, well, when I bought it, it was like $100 and now it's like $125. And I really like the things that the Fitbit could do. And it does give you, you know, if you want to track your sleep, it was okay. So the reason why I started testing it, and my husband ended up buying me this without me, the Apple Watch without me knowing, this is the second Apple Watch I've had. And I haven't worn an Apple Watch for probably 5 years. And I thought that they would get better on it, but I tell you what, for the battery life, it's like night and day difference. So the Apple Watch only stays charged for like a day, maybe a day and a half if you haven't been exercising or whatever, before you have to charge the thing. The Fitbit, you can go like 7 days without charging it. And that is awesome. Now, why a little $100 watch would have so much more battery life than the Apple is ridiculous. But I love that the Fitbit, you just have to charge, you know, every 5 to 7 days. So the thing that made me start questioning the Fitbit was after about a year, it stopped recording, the GPS tracker stopped working on it. And I tried everything I could to restore it, and I watched YouTube videos and tech help and all that stuff, and I never could get it. So sometimes it would work and sometimes it wouldn't. Now, what's interesting is that it kept good track of like my step count, but as far as the mileage goes, and some days it would say I did like 0.11 miles. So that's totally not helpful. So, but it worked great for the first year. It's just recently. And the other thing I didn't like about the Fitbit was that it came with a rubber strap on it. And I have really sensitive skin. So I had to replace with aftermarket bands. And I got like a set of 5 bands in different colors. They were probably Chinese version, not expensive at all, but they're elastic that you just adjust and you can slide it over your wrist to take it on or off. And that was very convenient to me. But the rubber band that came with the Fitbit broke my skin out and made it itch. So that was not good. But these aftermarket bands work great. So I really like that about it. Now the band that comes with the Apple Watch is a cloth band anyway, and you can adjust it however you want. So you can make it, it's very easy to adjust tighter or looser, and that was nice. But if you're more techie, you're gonna like the Apple Watch better. If that doesn't bother you and you just want just kind of an accurate count, the Fitbit's gonna be great for you. And for $100, it, you know, keeps the time. It gives you, and what I did like about that was it gives you your heart rate. It tells you your mileage. It tells you your step count and how many calories you burned. And I really like that. The Fitbit has its own app, but to get all the benefits of the app, you have to pay for an upgrade. And I didn't like that at all, because honestly, all these apps and everything cost money. And I mean, you can get into some serious dollar amount just paying for different apps, right? Well, I didn't like that. Now, the Apple Watch uses the Health app. That is an app that comes on your phone already, and it tracks everything. And so it actually will call somebody if you fall. You know, that I've fallen and I can't get up. So it will, if you fall, it will notify people. And so that's kind of cool. But is it worth the extra few $100s? So if I had to pick between what watch at the end of the day, it's hard to say. I like the Fitbit and the ease of use. I don't like that it's kind of glitchy with the GPS tracker. Now, if they could get that sorted out, I would be all about the Fitbit, because, you know, 5 to 7 day battery life, everything is just so easy to use. It doesn't have as many exercise options as the Apple Watch, but it's got enough. I mean, it's got yoga and Pilates and biking, indoor and outdoor biking. It's got treadmill. It's got all the things there too. So, and like I said, I don't know which one was more accurate, but I felt like the Apple Watch was a bit more accurate. And I feel like for the price they charge, it should be, right? So anyway, I think it's very important when you're in your 50s, 60s, and 70s to track what you're doing, so you know if you're sitting too long or you're not getting your steps in for the day. I think that's very important. So whatever works for you, there's an option out there. And I want you to be sure and check out my other videos. I'm gonna link one right up here to walking with a weighted vest, which has been really popular and has helped me a lot. So I will talk to you next time.